Hello friends, welcome to all. Today we discuss the subject of a electrical machine. In this subject, here we discuss the topic is a synchronous machine. In the synchronous machine, we earlier discussed the various part and various process of the synchronous machine. In this video lecture, we start with the method of finding voltage regulation. We know that in a power system, it is expected that the utility should get electrical power at a constant voltage. All the electrical appliances or load are designed to operate at a constant voltage with some permissible band. It is therefore necessary that the alternator which supply the electrical power to grid should maintain the constant voltage. In a previous equivalent circuit, we discussed that the synchronous generator in various part. Now, when the alternator is on no load condition, the terminal voltage we should write as a EMF, and voltage of a terminal is known as V, or is the same form as a E or E0. When the alternator is loaded condition, the armature current, resistance and armature drop take place in a terminal voltage to reduce the voltage. So to all over the voltage in a reduced condition, we can write here as a V bar. So the V bar is equal to E suffix 0 bar condition minus IA into RA bar plus IA into XS bar. Here it is a losses of the armature of the terminal voltage. So this is a total EMF and this is a losses. So the output of the EMF V or E or E0 is known as E suffix 0 bar minus IA into RA bar plus IA into XS bar. Thus the terminal voltage varies as a load of the alternator. Thus the terminal voltage is to be kept constant. This is achieved by varying the various excitation system. We know that the EMF value of a E0 is 4.44 Kc into Kd into 5 into F into T, where this is discussed in a previous video lecture how it is in done. In this equation, we know that the EMF value E0 is directly proportional to flux, since remaining parameters are as a constant. By varying the field current, an operating flux or excitation is varied and EMF is varied till the terminal voltage is maintained constant. The terminal voltage is thus maintained as a constant for the system used for a regulating field current and known as the automatic voltage regulator. Here the automatic voltage regulator is represented as generally AVR, automatic voltage regulator. This system is a continuously monitor the terminal voltage by taking a feedback and then regulator the field current such as the terminal voltage is maintained as a constant. To design AVR, we should know the band over the which terminal voltage are regulator and varies under the different load condition. Here, as we know, the load of the alternator, its terminal voltage is changes. This change in the terminal voltage is due to the loading is the most important performance parameter of the alternator. Accordingly, to take through the known as a voltage regulation. This is known as a voltage regulation system. Now, for the definition of a voltage regulation, we know that the voltage regulation is defined as a terminal change voltage of the alternator when the load is thrown off divided by rated terminal voltage. So the voltage regulation is generally represent its equation is voltage regulation is generally represent in equation is E suffix 0 minus V upon V. For the percentage of voltage regulation is is 0 minus V upon V into 100, and where the terminal voltage E0 is represented as a terminal voltage when the load is thrown off condition, and V is represented as a terminal voltage under loaded condition. To consider the alternator operating at a certain load delivering some current to a load, this is a voltage V. Now this the load is suddenly thrown off, the alternator current is 0. Thus, this condition is known as a no load condition. So, the voltage across the alternator terminal is E0. During this working process, from the loaded condition to the no load condition, speed and excitation are constant. This changes the E0 minus V is qualified to the find the voltage regulation. In a above expression, we can write for the regulation by voltage regulation is represented upon V. This is known as a voltage regulation process. For the alternator, we consider the voltage regulation in a various steps. First, we discuss in a alternator to generate the power at high voltage. The high voltage power is generally 3.3 kV, 6.6 kV, 11 kV, etc. So the insulation of armature winding is a critical factor. The load connected to the power system operate at a lagging power factor, and then the load on the alternator varies the frequently. The maximum variation will be full load to the no load condition. So, if the alternator of the full load is suddenly thrown off, the terminal voltage rises suddenly. The insulation will be break due to the voltage rises. The insulation, the band of this variation is the best way to known as a voltage regulation process. Now, now the voltage regulation is generally we divide in two parts. First part is a direct method and second part is a indirect method for the finding the voltage regulation. For a unity power factor and lagging power factor, the voltage regulation is positive, but for the leading power factor, the voltage regulation is a negative. This is a very important note here for the unity power factor and leading and lagging power factor. Here I repeat that the unity power factor and lagging power factor of the voltage regulation is a positive. but the leading power factor of the voltage regulation is a negative condition. The direct method and indirect method both are used in a practical way for to find the voltage regulation. In the direct method, here we discuss the voltage regulation by direct loading test. In the voltage regulation in a direct loading test method, here are the load test of alternator circuit for the DC supply and alternator are connected in various part. In a case of a small capacity of alternator, the voltage regulation is found by directly loading of the alternator. The experimental process of a loading the alternator and fulfilling the voltage regulation efficiency are drawn in this circuit diagram. Now we discuss the main aim to find the direct loading in the voltage regulation method. The main aim to perform this test is to perform the load test on a three-phase alternator to determine the efficiency and regulation. This test is generally determined for the knowing as a efficiency and regulation of an alternator. The second aim is to determine the effect of the load power factor on the terminal voltage of the alternator. Here there are two aims in this method. First aim is to determine the efficiency and regulation, and second aim is to determine the voltage regulation and effect on load power factor, the terminal voltage in an alternator. In the experimental component are three-phase alternator are needed, ammeters are needed, tachometers are also needed. The three-phase resistive or inductive or capacitive load are also needed. Here the load of the three-phase system. Here are the resistive or inductive or capacitive load. The other component we need is a voltage voltmeter and DC motor. Now for the voltage regulation in a direct loading test method, the three-phase alternator supplies electrical power in a synchronism with other alternator in a large-scale power system. This necessary is working at a system and voltage and frequency. Hence, the characteristics of the alternator giving the performance on a load has to be plotted. The drop in the voltage or loaded condition under different power factor can be studied by perform a direct load test. This test is connected on a small capacity machine having the lower voltage rating. Since it is a direct load test, it is practically possible to load the alternator of a small rating voltage, but for the large rating of alternator, the high load is the practically difficult to manage. Hence, for the large capacity alternator, indirect method are used to finding the voltage regulation. Under the loaded condition, the armature reaction take place. The armature reaction is demagnetizing when the load power factor is lagging, the resulting here to more drop of the generated voltage. So the terminal voltage decreases. In a case of a leading power factor, in the terminal voltage rises. This effect can also studied during this test. So there is also determined in this test. For the process of this test are connection made the synchronism of an alternator in a DC machine. Initially, the load is in a off condition, the motor is started and it is the speed is adjusted by rating it speed of the alternator. The alternator excitation is increased till rated voltage is developed across the alternator terminal. Now load is increased till rated current is developed by the alternator. The terminal voltage alternator changes. The terminal voltage is again brought to the rated voltage by changing the excitation of the alternator. Therefore, by varying the rheostat, suppose the excitation at this condition is a current in frequency IF1. The speed of the alternator decreases due to the load. The speed is again adjusted to rated value by adjusting the motor field rheostat. The excitation is not disturbed to maintaining the current. Then the readings are noted down here. The armature current and terminal voltage reading are noted at a rated full load condition. Similar process is replaced for 75%, 50% and 25% of the rated current. Correspondingly, changes in a terminal voltage is noted in quarterly voltage regulation. It is not hard and fast to the load alternator in a step of 75%, 50%, 25% of a rated current. The reading at any load condition from no load to full load is a load span condition. Now for the 4 to 5 observation we can take place to last observation should be on no load condition. Either load on alternator thrown off to maintaining the speed and excitation is a constant. The regulation of alternator can be calculated by observation table. In a observation table, in the observation table, following parameters are noted down. For the parameters like percentage load or current. Next is armature current IA. This is known as IR is equal to IY is equal to IB. Next is voltage on load condition, and next is E0. There is known as the terminal voltage. Terminal voltage when the load is thrown off. For the 100% full load condition, 75% condition, 50% condition and 25% or 0% full load and no load condition for the load and various point. Here the voltage on load is a rated value. So we can find the armature current and terminal voltage when the load is thrown off. For the voltage regulation of alternator, we should use the equation is E0 minus VL upon VL into 100 for the percentage of a voltage regulation. In a resulting table, we should write here for the value is a armature current. Here it is a serial number. Armature current is 0 value. Terminal voltage at a load VL value, and percentage of regulation. So these all are the resulting table in a parameters. As a resulting table, now we draw the graph of a percentage regulation versus armature current. For the percentage regulation versus armature current graph, here is a in a linear way. When the armature current is increased, the percentage regulation is increased in a same direction. So there is a graph is known as a linear graph. Is a value is various parameters in linear form. We know that this method is accurate because the performance under loaded condition is determined. The effect of alternator reaction is considered in a practically. This method of direct loading is not suitable for a high capacity alternator because it involves the more expenditure in energy and more cost to performing the test. Moreover, if the alternator is too big, there is there not may be successful loading facility in a place of a testing. Therefore, for the testing of a high capacity alternator, the indirect method are used for the testing. These are three different in indirect method. To indirect method to finding the voltage regulation, there are three methods in available. First method is a synchronous impedance method. There is known as EMF method. Second method is a armature turn MMF method, and third one is a zero power factor method. So all these three methods are very useful in a find the voltage regulation in an indirect form. For the indirect method of finding the voltage regulation, there are divided in three parts as we earlier discussed. The first part is the synchronous impedance method. Second part is armature turn method MMF method, and third part is the zero power factor method. Now we discuss all in detail. The first method is a synchronous impedance method EMF method for the finding voltage regulation. Here are the circuit diagram to find the EMF method in a voltage regulation. This method is also called as a open circuit or short circuit test of a alternator. To actual load test, there is a main aim to perform this test is to open circuit and short circuit test on a given three-phase alternator and determine it is a regulation by synchronous impedance or EMF method. The main equipment are used in this EMF method are DC emitter, AC emitter, AC voltmeter, rheostat and tachometer. In a open circuit and short circuit test of the alternator, the alternator voltage changes to find the voltage due to the drop. The alternator voltage changes to load due to the drop of the armature resistance, armature leakage resistance, and armature reactance. Here it is a figure of a circuit diagram of a open circuit or short circuit test, or other name is a EMF method to find the voltage regulation. This method is graphically estimated by the voltage of this drop by determining the synchronous impedance and reactance, which include the leakage reactance and reactance proportional to the armature reaction. The method helps to estimate the voltage regulation indirectly to limited degree of accuracy, and especially for the large alternator where the direct loading is not possible condition. In an open circuit test, the connections are made as per the diagram are shown in this figure. The switch is kept open. Here the switch is kept open and the DC motor is switched on. The speed is adjusted of the rated speed of the alternator. The alternator field current is increased with the help of the field regulator by using the rheostat condition. The excitation circuit step by step. The open circuit voltage across the line terminal of the stator is noted. The excitation is increased till the voltmeter reads at rated voltage, or there is a 120% of the rated voltage. In a short circuit test, the excitation of the alternator is first of all reduced to 0, and then the switch is in on condition so that the stator terminal are short circuited. The field current of the alternator is increased gradually and accordingly to the reading of a short circuit current are noted here. The readings are continuously used till the short circuit current is adjusted up to the full load current of the alternator. Only a 2 or 3 reading are is sufficient way to find the synchronous impedance and voltage regulation. Now we discuss the detailed explanation of a short circuit condition. The equivalent circuit for the short circuit test can be drawn are as for the here are the value of a IF field winding, terminal it is a positive and negative terminal. There is a connection of a resistance, inductance and ammeter are connected here. There is a EMF value here. There is a short connection of point A and point B. Here are a resistance value of RA and impedance value of XS. This is a total known as a impedance ZS. The current are flowing here is known as armature current IA. Other current the same way is known as ISC. It is a equivalent circuit of alternator for short circuit test. Here we note that the circuit is drawn on per phase basis for the understanding. The alternator is running at a rated speed with the terminal A and B is shorted. The field current is gradually increased till rated current of the armature current are flows through the armature winding. Since the terminal voltage of the alternator are shorted, the load impedance is 0. From the equivalent circuit, it is seen that the voltage is responsible for circulating this current IA or ISC in a terminal of a EMF. Thus, the EMF value E is equal to I suffix SC into Z suffix S, where ISC is known as the armature current and ZS is known as the impedance value. Here the current ISC can be measured by a meter are shown in this figure, and the internal EMF E cannot be measured here. If we connect the voltmeter across the A B terminal, it will show the zero voltage due to the short circuit connection. But to find the impedance value ZS, we should know the EMF in this equation. We know that for the EMF value is E is equal to 4.44 Kc into Kd into phi F into T. In a previous topic we discussed in detail, it is a EMF value is directly in the form of a dependent on a flux, and also EMF is directly responsible for the armature current I, field current IF. Now if we maintain the field current IF is a constant, the field current is responsible for circulating the rated current ISC. And now remove the shorted link across the AB, the EMF E will remain the same. And since the link is removed, we can connect the voltmeter across the AB terminal voltage indicated by the voltmeter. So here we connect the voltmeter in this point A and point B. Here we note that the alternator terminal are open, so it will not be delivered any current, and we have kept the same field current of open circuit and short circuit test. From the above circuit, we can modify the equation for the Z suffix S as follows. Zs is equal to V upon ISC. Other equation of the open circuit voltage we know open circuit upon short circuit current. There is known as open circuit voltage upon short circuit current. Hence, we always evaluate the Zs for the same IF condition. Now we discuss the observation table in a next video. Thank you. The value of this drop by determining the synchronous impedance and reactance, which include the leakage reactance and reactance proportional to the armature reaction. In the open circuit test, the connections are made in the DC motor of the switch on connection, and speed is adjusted to the rated speed of the alternator. The alternator field current is increased with the help of a field regulator by using the rheostat. The excitation circuit is step by step will be increased. In the open circuit testing, the voltage across the line terminal of the starter is noted down. The excitation is increased till the voltmeter reads the rated voltage or rated current. In a short circuit test, we also discussed in a previous video lecture is excitation of the alternator is first of all reduced to 0, and then after the switch is made on on condition, so that the stator terminal are short circuited. The field current of the alternator is increased gradually. Accordingly, the reading of the short circuit current are noted. The readings are continued till the short circuit current is adjusted up to the full load current of the alternator. Only 2 or 3 readings are sufficient for the connection. Now we discuss here to the observation table. By using the open circuit and the short circuit test, first of all we should measure the value of current, voltage and total power. Here in an open circuit test there is a table of open circuit test, and this table is a short circuit test. We should measure the value of IF, then after value of the V, voltage load and total power of the given circuit. And the short circuit test, the value we find here is the current value and short circuit value. To the armature resistance, as per phase, we know that we can found the Western bridge method. The graph we also discuss in the next stage. The total EMF in open circuit voltage is a current basis in a short circuit current for the same field current are in the graph. Now we draw the graph of the characteristics value of the open circuit and short circuit connection. Here we draw the graph of a rated current versus field current. First of all, we draw the value of I suffix SC current. Here is a current is in this direction. Here is a ISC current, and total open circuit current is drawn as here are open circuit current, and total value of the impedance by using the open circuit and short circuit current, there are total impedance value are known as ZS. So here there are point is will be, so the terminal voltage of this point is represent as this direction are as follow. There is a critical point of this ISC current, and the direction for the rated current versus field current is in this direction, and here I am in this form. Here the rated current and value is generally represent as a armature current or short circuit current. The value of open circuit is maximum, the EMF is E0. At the time EMF will be E0. The open circuit voltage for the same field current, in this point the open circuit voltage is the same as the field current. And here this point is represent as a point number B, and here is it output value of the short circuit current. This is a starting point. So there is a characteristics of open circuit field current versus rated current value. As there is no terminal voltage available here, to complete the voltage E0 is united for the supplying impedance drop. Here the value of EMF E0 is also represented as a ISC into Zs. There is a equation of E0 is equal to ISC into Z suffix S. Short circuit current into impedance value of the synchronous form. The synchronous impedance here, the synchronous impedance Zs is equal to E0 upon ISC. So this is a further next stage for the main equation. The current value will be same. The synchronous reactance are generally represented as a XS. For the open circuit and short circuit impedance value and synchronous reactance value are found by using this test, and the regulation is also found by using this method. The short circuit characteristics is a straight line, but short circuit curve is do not magnetic saturation at that time. At any load condition, Zs is known as impedance value is found by using this method. So we should here discuss the value of nature of open circuit current and short circuit current. So now we discuss the topic is nature of open circuit current and short circuit current. First of all, we should draw the open circuit characteristics graph RS here. There is a EMF value and current of the field value. The nature of open circuit value is in this direction. There is a open circuit current, and now we draw the next graph is a short circuit current value. Short circuit current value is increased in a linear form. ISC or is other name is a armature current, or here is the value of a field current. So the open circuit characteristics and short circuit characteristics are here separately in this figure. Figure number A is open circuit characteristics and figure number B is a short circuit characteristics. The open circuit characteristics also known as magnetization characteristics. The magnetization characteristics is plotted here for the BH curve graph and flux density of the magnetic field strength. So now we recall the BH curve of the magnetic field strength and magnetic field density. We should discuss here in short way. There is a graph of magnetic field density and magnetic field strength. The equation of a magnetic field strength H is equal to Ni upon L. Here, so we can write here the value of H is directly proportional to Ni. There is a magnetic field strength and magnetic field density. In the N value is known as the number of turns in a winding. I is represented as the current through the winding, and L is represented as the length of the magnetic circuit. So the magnetic flux density is B is equal to pi upon A. There is a simple equation of a magnetic flux density. There is a B is equal to phi upon A, where the phi is the magnetic flux and A is equal to area of cross section through which the flux passes, here the magnetic field strength. In the case of an alternator, the useful flux is produced by the field system. In the value of H is equal to N upon IF into L. So there is the field current of this system, and now we can also write for the H is directly proportional to N into IF. Here, the same way, the H is directly proportional to IF. So we know that N value is a number of turn in a winding. So the number of turn in winding is a fix. So the H is directly proportional to IF condition. The EMF equation of alternator, we know that E is equal to 4.44 Kc Kd phi F into T. So by using this equation, we can write here the E is directly proportional to phi, where the phi is a useful flux in this system. The flux density, we here there is B is equal to phi upon A. So by using the armature core A, which A is the constant form, so by using this equation, A is the constant form, so B is directly proportional to phi. In this previous equation, we find that E is directly proportional to phi and magnetic flux density, this equation B is directly proportional to phi. So when we compare both equations, we can write here the B is directly proportional to E. If we can measure the current, field current and E value, we can verify the value of magnetic field density and magnetic field strength. In the open circuit test, we measure the corresponding EMF value also. Thus, in the open circuit test, by using this graph, there is a BH curve. By using the BH curve, in the value we can write here as our node point A and B. If the field current is increased further, here the current value of the magnetic field strength, and it does not increase the same of the portion. This is because the magnetic field saturation of the armature core start and flux does not increase in the same portion. Therefore, at the other point B, the complete magnetic saturation of the armature core take place. Here the flux does not increase even if the current field is increased. So EMF will also remain the constant in this circuit diagram. Here are the nature of short circuit current. Now the short circuit current, we draw the graph of the armature current versus field current. Here in a short circuit connection, we also discussed in previous as they both are linear way for the short circuit connection, armature current and field current. When we draw the field winding of a short circuit of the connection in armature value, the armature terminal are shorted and field current is increased. The armature current or short circuit current, we know that the ISC is directly proportional to EMF. Short circuit current is directly proportional to EMF, and EMF E is also directly proportional to flux phi. In the same way, the flux is directly proportional to armature field current. So by using both this equation, we can write here the short circuit current is directly proportional to field current. As the field current is increased, the EMF is increased and short circuit current will be also increased. Here we note that the value of a field current is required to calculate the rated current for the short circuit. In the much less than is required to produce the saturation effect. The short circuit current is a straight line passing from the origin. Now we discuss the determination of a EMF from the phasor diagram under the different power factor connection. Now we discuss the next point is the determination of EMF from the phasor diagram under different power factor condition. In the power factor condition, first we discuss the lagging power factor value. The result is obtained from the open circuit test and short circuit test of the synchronous machine, which we discussed in a previous point, is used to find the regulation by this method. Here the following phasor diagram is for the lagging power factor. All the values are expressed per phase, and this method is also called as EMF method because this is a method of armature resistance drop and leakage reactance drop are actually EMF quantities. Hence, we know that it is known as a EMF method. In this phasor diagram, we should take V as a reference. V is not drawn horizontal but tilted by angle phi. Here we draw the value of V. There is a not horizontal form, there is an angle of phi. So the current, armature current IA is drawn lagging V by phi degree, such as the armature current is horizontal. Here we draw the current, armature current IA in a lagging with V, and the such as angle is phi 0, and there is a horizontal form. Here the value of IA into RA. The IA into RA, armature drop, armature current and resistance drop is added at the tip of the V. This drop is parallel to the armature current. Since it is a resistive drop, which can be write here form. Now for the inductive drop, the armature current IA into X suffix S drop is added at the tip of the value of armature current into resistance, armature resistance. There is an angle between is 90 degree for the armature current. Since this is known as a inductive drop. To tip for the armature current and reactance, it is a joint from the starting origin O and find the resultant value of E0. Find the resultant value of E0. For the given load condition, the power factor of a no load voltage is E0. Is found from the equation by using is E0 is equal to OB square plus BC square. OB square plus BC square upon root. But by using this equation, by this figure, we can write the value of OB is equal to OA plus AB. So we also write that the OA is equal to V cos phi plus IA into RA. V cos phi plus IA into RA. There is a cosine value of the angle is phi, and there is a direct value of the armature current into resistance in the IA into RA form. For the BC point, BC is equal to BD plus DC. The BC is equal to BD plus DC. So the value of BD is known as V sin phi, V sin angle of this form, and DC is equal to IA into XS. So in the value of EMF, E0 is right for the OB square. So the OB is V cos phi plus Ia into Ra square plus V sin phi plus Ia into Xs square. There is a positive sign for the lagging power factor and by using the negative sign for the leading power factor. So we write the value of a positive or negative both in this form. For the percentage regulation, the equation are created as a E0 minus V upon V into 100. This method to find the regulation is very simple, but this does not give the accurate result because the calculated value of impedance is a form of open circuit current and short circuit current is always more than the value on the normal voltage condition and saturation. The regulation found by this method is always more than found the test is in direct loading. Hence, the EMF method is therefore called as a pessimistic method. The value of impedance Z suffix S is not constant in this method. This method is also called as the EMF method because the voltage is substituted from the arm reaction or the voltage drop are considered the part of a EMF quantity. Now we discuss the second point is the unity factor connection. In the unity factor connection, here we draw the phasor diagram of a unity power factor connection. Here we take V as a reference phasor and current Ia in phase with V. Here we take the reference phasor V and current armature current is in phase with V. So we write here the value. The armature current Ia and resistance Ra drop is added at the tip of the V. This drop is in phase with the armature current. So there is a known as a resistive drop. There is a known as a resistive drop. For the inductive drop, the armature current and reactance X into suffix S is added at the tip of the value of Ia into Ra. In this drop is the angle between 90 degree. So there is known as a inductive load. So we write here the value of Ia into X suffix S, inductive drop. At the tip of the Ia into X S, at the tip is joined at O is find the resultant of value is EMF, that is known as E0. So by using this O, B and C table, there is a we can write for the OC square is equal to OB square plus BC square. In the OC square, there is a value is a E0 square and OB square is known as a OA plus AB. OB is known as OA plus AB and the BC value is known as a Ia into XS square. And then after E0 square is equal to V plus Ia into Ra square plus Ia into XS square. And then after here the square, so in the is equal to form, E0 is equal to root V plus Ia into Ra square plus Ia into XS square. So there is a EMF value for the unity power factor connection and the regulation are as under the sum of a lagging power factor is E0 minus V upon V into 100 for the percentage regulation. Now the third point is a leading power factor condition. The leading power factor condition, there is a phasor diagram RS here. In this phasor diagram are same from the leading unity and lagging power factor. So there is a phasor of a reference phasor V are drawn as in some angle of phi. At the origin of a point, we draw the armature current and resistance are in some angle. There is a horizontal line between them. At the node of the armature current into resistance value, we should draw the inductive load is armature current into XS. There is an angle between them is 90. The resultant of armature current in resistance and armature current into reactance is a impedance form, is a I0 into Z suffix S. So all over the resultant of the value is a E0, there is known as OC point. While we draw the phasor, here the OD is equal to V cos phi and AD is equal to BE is equal to V sin phi in this figure, and also DE is equal to armature current resistance drop in this circuit. In the triangular of OCE, here the value of OC square is equal to OE square plus EC square. So OC square is in the form of E0 square. So OD plus DE, OE is equal to OD plus DE square plus EC square is equal to BE minus BC in whole square. So the E0 square is equal to V cos phi plus IA into armature current square plus BE is equal to V sin phi minus IA into XS square, impedance and reactance current square. So at the end of E0, we can write for the value is root V cos phi plus IA into RA square plus V sin phi minus IA into XS square. There is a inductive drop and there is a resistive drop for the equation. So this equation is a leading power factor connection. In the regulation form, percentage regulation form, there is a E0 minus V upon V into 100. So there is a leading power factor connection, unity power factor and lagging power factor connection of the EMF method to determination and different power factor connection are is given. Thank you.